rain points to gloomy. It's gotta be sunny.
Jeepers Creepers 2 is a passable horror film in my opinion. Even though I wouldn't put it over the original, this film clearly has its issues, but I've seen worse horror films out there. And not only that though, it follows a different, completely set of characters. And as far as horror films goes, at least it's entertaining. Same plays during the same time frame of the first Jeepers Creepers film. This film starts off on day 22. Billy Taggart is taken away by this creeper from his father and his brother. And Jack Taggart is devastated, played by Ray Wise. And then it fast forward to the next day where a bunch of high school athletes and cheerleaders on their way home after winning the state championship. But trouble arises when the creeper blows out their tires and pits off the adults so it can have these people to itself. And what you have a compelling horror film. This horror film is not great, but it certainly is entertaining. A lot of shit goes down here. And not just that though, but the acting is doable. It's not the best acting I've seen. I mean, some acting is atrocious, I admit, but Nikki Ancox, who plays Missy Hayes, she does a decent job here. She's the new psychic in this film. Eric Neininger plays Scotty, and he's like the asshole in this film. He only looks out for himself, basically. And what it is a tale of survival. All these students have to survive. In fact, a lot of them get killed off in the film. And what I find real interesting about this film is that the actor that played Trish in the first film, Gina Phillips, she declined the role. So unfortunately, we didn't see what happened to Patricia Jenner. And it would have been cool if this was a standalone direct sequel followed her, obviously. And what I mean by that, like, I wanted to see all she went through in this film, but she didn't return. But the important thing is that while this horror film has its issues, it's not downright awful. I can enjoy this film. It's just the mediocre acting in this film is what drags it down. And the mere fact that we don't know too much more about this creature. But Jack Taggart is on a mission. He's a father. He wants revenge for his son being taken away from him. He has dedication, and I admire that. It's understandable. If you've never seen this film, check it out, but don't be amazed by this film. When I say don't be amazed by this film, I mean that this is not the best storytelling, but it's certainly one of the most interesting creatures in film history. I just wish we learned a lot more about this creature. And not just that though, but Jack Taggart is like the only interesting character in this film. Ray Wise had a compelling acting career. Can you really say that about the other actors in this film? I mean, I didn't even know half of the cast in this movie. I had to look it up online. And not just that though, but I kind of wish they gave a little bit more effort. Like, I didn't want to see backstories on them, but some acting here it's awful in some aspects. I mean, I've seen worse acting, but still, this is not one of those films that you can watch and say, hey, why didn't you do that better? Well, what I'm really trying to say is that this is an entertaining film nonetheless. And I would recommend it if you've never seen this movie. I'm giving this film a 6 out of 10. While some of the entertaining aspects of this film, especially in the later portions of the creeper flying around and picking off people, it's not enough to really save this film. I've seen worse horror films, like I said before. It's just that I would like if we got more mythology on this creature, where it comes from, how long it's been around. What can really kill this thing? And if nothing can kill it, then what is the best options to stop it? And basically, the old man, I should say Jack Taggart, well, he does succeed in his mission per se. He doesn't actually kills it, but he does one of the most stupidest things at the end of the film. He takes it home with him and waits 23 years like he's ready to go to war. I'm like thinking, what? why the hell would this guy have this creature in his barn for like 23 years? Nonetheless, though, this is a film that I think, as bad as it is, it's not downright awful. I can enjoy it. Like, a film that may not be heavy on story, but at least it is a film that is entertaining in its own right. And that's my review of Jeepers Creepers 2. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this film. Do you love it, hate it, or in the middle? What is your favorite Jeepers Creepers film? Is it this one or the first one? And speaking of this film series, I heard Jeepers Creepers 3 is the worst in the trilogy. I haven't seen that film yet, but I'm expecting downright awfulness with that film. Okay, this is Slum Guy 172 saying, peace out.
Let up. God, y'all get up. Have to get that size. Golly gee. When you turn those heaters on. Woe is me. Got to put my cheaters on. Jeepers.